Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Alright, my people, welcome back to the coach's desk. Testing for sound, testing for clarity. Appreciate you being here, my people. Yeah, man, first thing, you have to give thanks for another week, another weekend triple treat. Yes, and this is the coach's desk. I'm your host, Coach Minzy, and we are here to have discussion about the Reggae Boyz. Yes. This has to do with the Reggae Boyz, the squad that we are anxiously waiting. Anxiously waiting to hear who is in and who is not. You understand? But people, firstly, let us get the YouTube business out of the way. Like the stream. Share the content, subscribe to the channel if you're new so that you can become a part of the family. There are many ways that you can support the channel. You can super chat, you can like, you can share, you can tell your friend to tell your friend about us so that, you know, the channel can also grow numerically. You understand? So we give thanks to all the persons who have been supporting this channel over the years. 2 years. Is it 2? Yes, 2021 to 23. Yeah, man, 2 years, over 2 years. So we give thanks for the movement and where it has reached. Far where I come from, though. Yeah, man, big up for yourself, people. Really appreciate the support throughout the years and throughout the weekends. You know, people have been here. Rob Smith are one of them that has been here from a long time. Toke, Fresh God, a lot more. You understand? So big up yourself. Really, really appreciate the effort. So tonight we'll be talking, as you can see, the topic Reggae Boyz squad. Key players to miss out. Yeah, there are some players that I believe valuable players, and they will miss out on the trip that is going to Mexico. You understand? And you know the fans aren't patient enough. The fans are calling for the squad to drop, other teams drop squad and all of these things. Just be patient. Take it easy. Remember, we do our thing differently. We don't drop squad because Mexico drop squad or US drop squad. It's not that's not how it goes. Every situation is unique, and the coach is working on finalizing the squad. The squad list is out. You understand? But it is not made known to the public. One thing I can tell you is that Greg Lee is going to Mexico because he gathered some information that his club made mention of him going on international duty. So yeah, so some of our senior players will be back. The challenge is that some of our senior players will also be missing. You understand? So people, like the stream. We see one done in the building. One done, big up yourself. Yeah, one done, big up yourself. You know, man, you are going to bag of things the same way, you know. Even though we get the 7-1, we are going to bag of things, you know. And we not relent. We're still in it. We're still in it. You understand? So we are fight and we continue to do the work. So Also, people to make note of the situation with Danny Jed, big up yourself, Danny Jed. Mario Hutchinson, big up yourself. Big up all the viewers and subscribers. So we have to big up our own Khadija Bonishaw and Capo. Capo himself. Yeah? Capo himself. Andre Blake. Oh, big up yourself, Jason. Big up yourself, Validan. Big up yourself, Gregory Reed. Big up yourself, Kevin Reed. A long time we don't see you, Kevin Reed. Hope all is well, you know. Big up yourself, anyways. So, Khadija Shaw has been selected as, you know, Footballer of the Year, Female Footballer of the Year in the region, as well as Andre Blake. Now, there's a voting system that I'll be sharing in the chat for you to go and vote for them. Yes, fans have a say in winning and certainly want you to share into that. Alright. I saw me son a fry, man. I know, I don't like how the sound. You understand? So, there you have it, people. I drop that in the comment section. So you can go vote. Those who have not yet voted, vote for Andre Blake and Khadija Shaw. Yeah? But as big up yourself, why are we getting conflicting info in the reference to Lay and Bell? Nobody with no logics just vote for the Jamaican. I already voted for them. Why is that, Rob Smith? Them can't win. Them can't win, Rob Smith. Alright, so people said them again. So you see the same issue where Mount Pleasant did have with their teams. May I said just it's a Jamaican zone care where Davis play. Oh, alright. Now, Mount Pleasant had a situation where they did not want to play their match because the rule stipulates that a certain amount of players are out. Then they can opt not to play the game. They did so, and you know, people chastise them. But here you have it. Last night, the match, which was initially scheduled for a week on Saturday, was postponed after the Blues had 3 international calls. Wes Burns and Nathan Broadhead having been selected by Wales, while Greg Lee is expected to be in the Jamaica squad, and skipper Sam Morrissey was named in a preliminary list of overseas calls for Egypt. So, brothers, that's where I got my information where Greg Lee is concerned. You understand? So, unless expected there meaning is not a surety for security. Yeah. But I think we are hearing that he's injured. But yeah, that probably is the conflicting information that you're making reference to. Alright, so just vote for the Jamaicans. Don't care where. So people, take out the phone and vote now. If I give you the time, take out the phone and vote. Vote for the Jamaicans. See, me have my phone in hand, me I go vote. Me nah itch, me I go vote. Yeah, man, oh God, Rob Smith. So me no see Vonisha. Me see Andre Blake. Must be reasons why they are delaying it. Rob Smith. Of course, players would have been contacted already. Remember, you need 2 weeks, you know. I voted for Andre Blake, but we can't vote for. Then put Alex Morgan and Alicia Cervantes at the front. And I can't vote for Khadija. Oh me. Generalship them are using now. I can't seem to vote for Khadija. Sherman Scott, big up herself. She likes third or fourth. Oh. See, they thank me for voting. Khadija. They thank me for voting. So there you have it, people. I voted for our Reggae Boys and Reggae Girls. Alright. It will be good if they finish in the top 3. It's gonna be tough for them to win, given the opponents that they are up against. You understand? So, but at the same time, we're voting. And if they're as popular as the others. Are they as popular as the others? Alright. Oh, she the third or fourth. Jano, then that I go rough then. So yeah, people. So will the coach have issues in terms of the amount of persons that he has available for, or the amount of senior players that he has available? Because it seem a way, you know. They say all of Philly voting for Blake. It seem a way though, people, because from what we understand is that Michael Antonio, yes, Michael Antonio should be out. Amari Bell should be out. And that those are two different persons from two different ends of the spectrum. So one from the defensive section, one from the attacking section. Then we have our captain, Andre Blake. There he is. He has a groin issue. We understand that he'll be out for 6 to 8 weeks. So these three players are quality players from our team. These players played against Argentina, and I believe that they represented themselves and the country well in that game, albeit we lost. But it is serious. Martin Baker said he hears that Bell is not injured. Well, we don't know. Some people were saying that Greg Lee would have been is injured as well, but from that report that I read earlier, that signifies that he's not hurt, even though it wasn't really conclusive. You understand? So that is where the situation is right now with these players. I mean, we're not certain why the coach does not want to release the team to date. Is he waiting on an important document? You understand? So whichever way you have it, Bell is not in tip top shape. So Martin Baker is saying that he believes that the coach is still making some calls. Could be. And it can't be the do we still have 2 weeks to go before the game? No, we don't have 2 weeks before the game, and the clubs normally need 2 weeks. So it's not a situation, Martin, that the coach should be calling players. If that is the case, we are in problems. If that is the case, we are in problem, because he should not be calling players now, because he would be late. You understand? So we don't know the reason why the squad is not forthcoming. So I don't want to jump into any conclusion that, he's still calling players. Based on FIFA rules, that cannot be the case. It is impossible. it is impossible for them to be calling players now. Blake's injury came back better than before. He didn't travel with Philly this weekend, but he might be good for next week. Don't know if Philly will release him though. True. Fresh got it said Martin Baker, he came off his last game injured. Rob Smith heard Blake is touch and go for 4 to 6 weeks. Small reminder, people, smash the like button. Based on the injured players I am speaking, same old thing, nothing have changed. What is the same old thing, Ricardo? Yeah, they're still waiting on that one. Yeah, so he could not be calling players now, Martin. That would be within the 2 week period. We only have like a week to go. You understand? I read on the Instagram page that it's grade 1, so no tear. He should be back sooner than later. Yeah, if it is grade 1, it is nothing serious. But there still should be caution. Yeah? So once it's grade 1, it is not severe. It probably be a strain. You understand? So that is where it is. It is when you talk about a grade 1. And there could be micro tear doing Rob Smith. There could be. Balakar, big up yourself. Not yet Balakar. Key players to miss out because of injury. What say you, Balakar? Who are we most anticipating making this team? Is it Whisper? Is it Dujon Whisper Richards? Talk to me now. Is it Dujon Whisper Richards? Should he make the team? From experience, groin injuries are tough because you don't feel them all day walking around. But one wrong step and you're in pain, and sometimes fatigue brings it on. Yeah, man, groin injury is serious, you know. You see, that area, you have a less blood flow. If you do the right thing doing a Rob Smith, it can be sorted out in a jiffy, you know. But you still have to be tentative coming back. So what happened is that he might be able to jog or do some straightaways. But when it comes on to kicking the ball, that's where he might be having some problem, because you know the whole hip and all those muscles that are connected. If he goes to strike the ball, he might be in problems. If he dive and he fall, he might aggravate the area. You understand? And one thing I've learned about the groin area, less blood flow is there. You understand? So it's a hard area to really bring back. But with how science is right now, it is easy. I have had groin injuries playing football, and me get a magician touch, you know. Get a tennis ball, put on my knee and squeeze, and 2 toes, good to go. You understand? But everybody use different method that works for them. Fan of mine, that's good news. That cannot be good news. one of our most influential players out of the team. I mean, senior, captain. Oh yeah, chat man. I mean, no a joke carrot still, but I had a groin injury while running track. I wouldn't feel it until about the third hurdle. All him need to do is dive and block shots. Nah, man, him gonna need to move to, remember, you have to move quick to, Fana. You have to move quick, so you're speaking just like you just want a goalkeeper in the goal. I do believe that we have able goalkeepers. Kemar Foster is one, as well as Jamali Waite. Very good goalkeepers. So I don't think that is something to worry. If the situation with Amari Bell is an issue, then we should worry. And for that reason, I'm wondering that's where Ricardo Thomas will play if there's a right back situation. With Greg Lay, that's where Dexter will play. And remember, Dexter can play on the left as well. So it might be an issue, but at the same time, these key players being out, I don't think it will be able to stop. The problem is that some of these players have not played together. So when you have a Dexter and a Ricardo Thomas, well, they played the other day together, and then you have the two central defenders who possibly have not played with them, then you might have issues there. And all they have to do probably is just to communicate and see how best they can communicate, because they're still gonna have time, probably about 4 to 5 days to make that preparation. Coach, I never know you could play football. Thought you were just a coach. I will be a master, man. Yeah, man, we play some ball to man, I talk, sir. Coach, what's the update on Bell and Lay? Well, the last thing I hear is that Bell could be on his way for national, not Bell, Lay could be on his way for national duties. Bell is in doubt for a game that should be played tomorrow. So that's basically where it is at the moment. Balakar, listen to the line of argument, No squad no drop it, Balakar. The squad no drop it in a Balakar. But we are asked who we are anticipate being in that. You understand? So you can call in a Balakar. Call in. You can call in. I want to see the Pinnock and Low backline. I don't think they ever played a full game together. Both in good form too. Yes. And you see the thing about both of them, Rob Smith, both of them can go up in set pieces where you have corners and get something out of it. Low can do it, and also Ethan Pinnock. So I am looking forward to that as well. Rob Smith. Balaka, what's up?
Yeah, man, I just say I try to. Not today squad a drop today.
Well, I think it was supposed to, but look like that drop today again.
Joke thing.
Why is it a joke thing, Balakar?
So why every other country can drop them?
You see,
them squad, and we always be the last one to finalize something.
That no mean nothing to Jamaica. Mexico go play the game early. Mexico go play one match before they meet,
Coach, me not talk about Mexico. No, you hear what me say? Me say everybody. Me not been in the specific code. Mexico.
We not talk about nobody else, brother. Mexico, we are gonna play. We are bring up everybody.
Alright. Me they expect to see. Cause me enough people say them probably not gonna see him, but are the most informed winger we have in the Jamaica team, both local man overseas. See first. We know say Boyz are going there. And we love to see Whisper. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But I love to see Whisper. Then the three player there. The others a player them, me know them go in night. Me know Lambiki is to go in night. Me know Omar Ochin to go there as a next young player. That good. You understand?
Mm-hmm. So
Damien Low. Eh?
Oh, you not call your general name?
A Boyz name supposed to be called, you know, coach.
Yes, sure. Me never hear that.
Listen what me say. Me say me know say Boyz are go there.
Mm-hmm.
And me say the best winger we have on farm right now, both local and overseas, are Cephas.
Mm-hmm.
Me say Boyz, Whisper,
what are the stats? What are the stats?
For all.
Cephas.
Cephas gone around 8 goal and a lot of assists.
Mm.
You understand? Coach, no winger. You when me say best winger and farm. Me never say I am my best winger overall and farm. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See if I still do it.
Rob Smith,
you understand?
You watch the league.
Yes, you can watch it on E-goals, man. I can watch it on something else too. Soccer yet or yet. Yeah, man, me know Rob Smith. Once a year, me just say something like that. Me know him more jump up and say something like that, man. And that's why narrative will never change.
Which narrative?
You understand what I say? Me say me a change because me say a whole heap of time me say certain things and they just make it slide, you know. Because me say a Jamaica football no wants to go forward. So why is it we Jamaican, because me and I too, you know, me not take myself out of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We always say, yo, Monday me not look at Premier League to go overseas go play ball. And then when the ball of them go overseas and doing good in Europe, you them still deserve no call. And the man them on the pan no farm they get call.
Who said that now?
All the system go. No, me they say that.
Oh, okay. Data boss.
Me they say
this is his last name, Ronaldo Cephas.
And me they say that, coach, because there is no way on earth until today this youth they really turn a blind eye on this youth. You see them go for local squad out here already. And the youth in the squad I can't understand. We need to go to Europe. The youth go to Europe and they do so damn good. And we still can't see youth. And I like say the youth are 28 or youth are 25. I'm surprised to know say Cephas a 22 coach.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
but Balakar, well, I know when you check the position, you say my heart is winger. But when you check the position, we have some winger that hot right now too. I know him alone, and he have been down the pecking order.
Which winger we have at, coach? You can make me know them.
Huh? Who they before?
Let me know.
Alright, Omar Ochin winger, right?
Omar Ochin not act like him.
Okay.
That's a number one. Which other winger now, coach? Leon Bale in the pan farm like him.
What do you mean Leon Bale in the pan farm?
Leon Bale in the pan farm, coach. You watch the alright. Let me tell you this. Oh, he's serious. Jamal Luna the pan better farm than him. 3 goals and 1 assist.
So a goal you go sit the wing of them for?
Alright, as when me say, coach. They not depend no better farm than the youth. And a goal alone me count him off a coach. You understand? And a goal alone me count him off.
So why you say Omar Hutchinson not hotter than him?
Because Omar Hutchinson not hotter than him right now, coach.
What Omar is that?
Omar Hutchinson could have 25 goal. Omar Hutchinson not depend no better form than Cephas right now. Liam Bailey not depend a better form.
Balakar, me not like on reasoning, you know. And you have to be fearing of your reasoning. You said Cephas has 8 goals, right? And that is what you're gonna use.
Cephas is playing in our first team football team.
Listen me now. He has 8 goals, and that is what you're using to put him ahead of the others because they don't have enough goals. And then you go make a statement like this and say,
coach.
Well, let me talk. Let me finish. You said even if Omar Hutchinson have 25 goals, he no hotter than him. You can't make that statement, the Balakar. That shows your argument not line up.
Alright. Me know why me say that.
Alright, tell us why
and alright. Move for Omar Hutchinson, because I don't want nobody to say me to compare.
No, I didn't bring up.
Put Liam Bailey in a...
No, Balakar.
Can I call one of them you
explain. You say I gotta explain why you made that statement about Omar Hutchinson. Talk, no, man.
Omar Hutchinson is not playing big difference. Because he's playing football, Omar Hutchinson is not. Liam Bailey is not on a better form than Cephas right now. What is ball name? Jamal Lowe is not on a better form than him. The only player when we can say they're on a better form than him right now, and a Bobby Reed. Without a doubt. But otherwise, from Bobby Reed, Cephas are the inform winger.
Alright, so would you use the league that they're playing to now make a recommendation?
If never use the league.
See who play the top league. Alright, no matter.
Coach. You know, matter coach. We don't want to move the goalpost.
No, me
because
not move
of course I move the goalpost and move now.
No, me not move the goalpost. I ask the question because
first team football with the top about. With the top about senior team. We not talk about no under 21.
Listen me now, brother. Me ask the question. That means that Omar Hutchinson if he get picky. If he get picky in a team, we are going to talk about that. According to your narrative.
But otherwise, coach, if Cephas come in, listen now, Cephas come in, what teams will be there? Liam Bailey, the list can go on. Coach,
Balakar, hold on no. Balakar, make a reason. Make a whole reason. If Omari Hutchinson is picked for the team to Mexico, which I believe is going to be picked, that is a big mistake that the coach is making. Or is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying coach make no mistake.
Alright, so what's your point then?
The coach see him. You understand? We the talk about the wingers and farm. Coach, can Paris on the no farm over Cephas right now, you know, coach. You notice I mean call ballers when I know they are Europe. I mean I mix up all of them as we say at this present moment. A Bobby Reed, I only inform winger over the youth. Bobby Reed. You understand me?
Dealing and ask if Cephas can go in at Chelsea FC.
If a man got Chelsea FC right now, he go play. But he can't play under 21. He must 22.
And Kevin Williams is asking if saying that Paris is ahead of Cephas by miles.
Paris is ahead of Cephas. Come on. So me I tell him. Yes, alright.
But you have an opinion and another man have an opinion, you know, so you have to respect.
Alright, yeah man. Yeah, alright. We respect their opinion. We're going to leave Cephas.
But you have to just bring her argument where you believe that can debunk that person's argument without being...
Alright. We're going to leave out Cephas out right now. The youth, they play good. And next year in transfer, in the summer when you come, and then the youth move around different club, then you go here, you like people and they make up nice. Remember this coach. They are Europe.
But
the youth, they are Europe. And
I'm second
talk
citizen
about
in
it.
Europe, right?
Yeah, cause you have a mid-season in go, and this will be full season now.
Right.
So
And the season not finished.
hear me?
But Balakar,
No.
you wouldn't know if the coach watch him. Remember I said when the coach come here, no database that they have to player them, you know. So we don't know if the coach know about him.
So you gonna tell me say no, we have the people them up in the JFF, and the people them up in the JFF not do no look
Alright, and you see, you see the hypocrisy a come back now. We are, well, not hypocrisy. But say what you say, let me say what you say before me.
Alright. Yeah man, you know what I say now. If you just say what if the coach no see what if the coach no see him? And you tell me say the coach come, right?
And I talk about
and them have and say things that they have a database of 83 players. One tell me say na 83 whisper CFAS one na 83 where coach can look for us about wait, this youth they are Europe and him a play good football. So him not the inna the team or coach something right, you know. You say something right, coach.
England,
if me no come from the
last year, Balakar. See, how well did he do that? Doing in Europe last year?
In the fairly good.
Right.
In the fairly good.
Remember,
and he even have a champion.
Balakar, remember we had the conversation last year, you know.
Yeah, because of me bring up it.
Everybody has said, CFAS hot. CFAS are going to a bag of things. But
and me bring up it.
I know you alone bring it up. Don't go there.
Alright.
Well,
let me tell you first. Break news.
Let me finish what I say. Everybody has said CFAS hot. We don't talk about who great news Balaka. We are talking about when we come in, week out, we are talking about the stats and CFAS a score and this and that. So I'm saying since that time everybody has been saying nobody now have no problem with CFAS. The only problem is that who would he replace? I can remember vividly that was the question that was asked. Based on the wingers that we had or have at the time, who would he replace?
We can't tell you who we can replace now though.
Yeah.
Can't replace Karim Paris now.
But Karim Paris get the call. So if he replace Karim Paris, he's only gonna be above Karim Paris because Karim Paris not get the call.
Well,
and we don't sure him get the call.
Well, alright. So whichever winger did it, if he come or when if he get called up and he come and he impress in a training, when we surprise and see him out there. You understand?
Yes, yes.
Coach Karim Paris will get picked in a squad, coach.
But you are saying
we're going to use two winger.
So that's why I say now Balakar, nobody is saying that CFAS. Remember we have a conversation in Balakar. Nobody is saying that CFAS is not good. The question that was who is CFAS ahead? And remember, our next variable is that the coach probably know about CFAS.
Me go cut you on that. What you mean by you see when you say head, me no want with they use no experience who they on a better farm. They need to start book and need to stop big player off of merit. Yo, Leon Bailey a big baller, so you have to be in a squad. If Leon Bailey not the farm,
he's not playing bad at the club.
No.
So what are going to do? Just drop him. So what is going to happen, Balakar? Every baller will come in a team. We team are going to have disruption like what happened to both.
No.
See me now, brother?
No.
If every time you have a player hot, and you just throw him in a team, And when he get cool, they dash him away. That don't make no sense.
No.
There's no
Dash him away?
stability there.
Alright. Liam Bailey a big baller. And in the club, right? Because I use Liam Bailey, you know. Because me now have to call no other name and then say me they try compare this and that. Notice, you know, me learn from them mistake from last year, you know. You understand? So me now make their mistake there again for the show.
So we hear.
So me they say Liam Bailey, for instance, Liam in the last 8 games, Liam Bailey play and you know, we dey watch and him play good. And see if us in a film league and him play good, right? He gone 8 goal and he gone 5 assists. I say if you be a blind eye to that player with the perform and call Liam Bailey.
But alright.
So when we call Liam,
look at it from this side, Balakar. If 2 months ago Leon Bailey played for the national team and he did exceptionally well, gone back to England, gone play Aston Villa, and him no look so, he no show that form against Aston Villa, but he's still not playing less than 50% in terms of his game. And me I use the same player where you say, see if us are going with a bag of things. He has never played for the national team, but he might go with a bag of things. Would you now, Balakar, as the coach, replace Leon Bailey, who had a stellar game, but 2 months down the line, him have a tough time in the league, but he's not performing below par? Would you drop him to add Cephas?
yes.
Okay, and that's what you do as a coach. I say no more on that.
My opinion.
And that's why I said I say
Cephas,
more on that.
Yeah. Coach, what we need to do, what this thing need to do in Jamaica, we need to stop give a blind eye to the youths them with the good.
But Balakar,
You understand me?
Balakar,
Because then again, you know,
but you can't say them give. Oh, we know about him. We not give blind eye. But probably
of course a blind eye them a get to you. Coach, so if me and you knew about him for last year and the coach come in January, you want to tell me say we have technical committee, we have technical director and then and nothing to the coach. Alright, listen how this kinda sound away. First you see if us going in the firing, right? The things that now alright, you know in hot and red at. The next season now in cool up and he got 3 goal, 1 assist in a 15 game. Then how him go get a car now? No, me want you tell me that our coach.
In game, brother.
So you see, so coach, whatever story me say, coach, the ball of them at now, use them and see what them can do. When the ball get cool in last in a windowless, run on corner, what they say?
No, I know windowless, man, a wilderness.
Yeah, but I could have wilderness, I wrote the last in the bush round there, so.
But Balakar, you speak like someone when you know football, and I know this Balakar. In order to be a top footballer, you have to be consistent. You can't have to.
Liam Bailey at and cool, coach.
When?
Liam Bailey at and cool right now.
Okay.
Kai Paris at and cool right as when we say coach, a one winger. When we say play right through Premier League where they play good now and a Bobby Reed coach. Yes, me don't know football at all like me don't know football. The youth
Bobby Reed
The youth upon that farm now, coach, and next
But
season,
you know about
you know,
the
the
farm.
no farm. He never get called up.
But look here, Bobby Reid start out with Fulham hot this year in a September period there. And I go on about
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
it would have been easier for someone who is in the team already to get back a recall rather than someone who has never made the team. And that's why I draw the scenario stating that if a baller played well, or say, all right, let me use average. The baller played average. He was not exceptional, meaning 100%, but he was about 75 for the national team. This man come now and play at 85% in the league. I go on a bag of thing.
Nah, play no 85%, 100% if you say.
Balakar, me not call nobody name. Me just use a example. Suda names. Suda.
Coach, me go use Leon Bailey, coach.
All
Me
right,
go use
go
the 75%.
Go on.
Me go use the 75%. But 80% and 80%, 83%, 83%. Me no football.
But who would you give the preference? The man will play 75% the last game in Gamba KM League and him play 70%. So him below when play for the national team. And a man play 100% in the league but never get an international call. And you have an important game coming up. Who you gonna pick? You say you gonna pick the man who play 100%. There's nothing else for us to discuss, Balakar.
Yeah, me pick him because he can, when he come, he go do good too. Me believe in the youth. The youth to get a call the youth in a friendly, and then I use him against some man, and then we go say you can play. Just like what happened in Catalonian game, and we just cuss whole heap of English man them because they don't play with some good player. They put them with some mediocre player.
But
They put them with some mediocre player in a Catalonian game.
I put it to you though, Balakar. I may speak from the perspective of a coach right now. Seeing? This is me gone now. If I were in that position, a selection position, I will have to go with the more experienced player to go in a critical
Alright.
rather
And
than
that,
an
yeah, alright.
so we share different
and
opinions.
coach,
So.
yeah. And coach, how many wingers call up into how many wingers that your feel say get call up? So we have right side and left side, you know. So how many wingers get call up?
How many wingers
Like in our national team right now. Yeah.
We don't know. It's squad not drop yet.
No, but I say overall, all wingers, like how much of them get called up? I don't know use them as attackers then. How many attackers get called up?
You have Bobby Reid. For what, the last World Cup campaign, or you thought that team I would just pick what there?
No, we are talk like overall when a team they pick. Then if you have four strikers,
four wingers.
Yeah, four wingers, right? Alright, so we have four wingers.
So yeah, when you make your substitution, you have one on either side, and you have one on one side.
Alright. So we have Bobby Reid. We have Bobby Reid, Leon Bailey, Jamal Lowe, because I'm mostly on the wing Jamal Lowe play for you, right? You see the fourth winger there? We put C first. Because me now use Omar Hutchinson as no winger, you know. Still piece of them play the youth out of position, you know. You see right behind the striker there. You see right behind the striker. The feel say Omar Hutchinson can play right off there so. So when me they look on, we have very so age go upon him. We have Omar Hutchinson. Hopefully, God forbid, Tariq Magee, if you can just pull through We have Tyreek Maggie. Me hear them talk about one. I none of a pump. This a show. Yeah, I am management show. But the top man midfielder youth. Me never see him yet. They say I'm captain the team. Yeah, me never see him yet. A creative midfield player back number 8.
Different. I think a 6 in play.
6, so we can't go put him there. So we have Ravel Mariso, Ochinso, and Tyreek Maggie. Where Ochinso and Maggie can learn off Ravel Mariso. Towards the future we can look towards just win Mexico game. We want to know so we have to set the guy Gold Cup and the World Cup qualifier or the Copa America where them go play. You understand what I say, coach?
Yeah, man, me.
We know only for people.
So Bala,
we know only for people.
Pick your 4. Pick your 4. Pick
my 4 ringers.
See first and over next stream.
No, me not go put Sifa.
So we have Balakar.
Well, no man. Alright.
Oh, you feel like you have a long conversation. Right. How much minutes with them on the phone?
Sifa.
Well, nobody
27 minutes with them on the phone.
Almost half an hour you on the phone.
7 minutes on the phone.
Seeing? I am but
Sifa, Liam Bailey, Bobby Reed, and Jamal Law. You me call 4 of them there.
A man
just call 4 of them, you know.
Man just say. So who you that start?
Who me start?
Me
will start Bobby Reed. I'm going to start Liam Bailey for one.
You know say Balakar. You know say you're not consistent in your argument.
But because coach,
earlier, listen to brother, listen to me.
Coach, hold on no man, hold on no.
No, not tell me man. Make you talk and me want to talk. No. Because
no, because guess we are going to try it. Guess we are trying to do for the dialogue. We are trying to push up everything.
What?
You are trying to say, yo, you just say, in my best and win player. And me just say to you, say, if him play good the last time, that did come with right now. You can come off my bench. You bigger than the bench, coach.
So.
You can get 10 minutes and come on.
No, but Balaka, if you say a man, you know sir, that me a come with and you know want me talk. If you say a man is better than a man, why you gonna start him over me?
Me never say man better than nobody. Me say man is most informed. Otherwise, Bobby Reed.
Better than them now. Why you going like you not a sense of Balaka?
Bobby Reed, but coach, Bobby Reed a right foot and him a right foot. Me now put 2 right foot, pam. One panel. Me now put 2 of them. Mr. 2
so
right
now
foot.
Now you see that selecting a team takes a lot of consideration and a lot of variables.
2 right foot, 2 left foot. Coach, me know football. Me now go start 2 right foot of them.
You can't say you know football, no Balaka, but your decision making in terms of picking a team, you now put consideration in it. Because you can't just select a team and you're going to say this man hot up the league and you're not going to put him for start. Then what you call him for?
But coach, listen to what me say. You hear who me say are the artists. Me say.
So if you want the artists right now, no, my better baller now, no that we are talking.
Hold on, no man. Coach.
No, what? Oh, you not hold on, so you're not boss a drop, man.
Coach, me say, you're not going to contribute me and try to crap me on the player. Me say, the only player where the player win, when me that put over him, a Bobby Reed, and Bobby Reed don't start on the right.
But so if Bobby Reed should have make start.
And me say me now use 2 right
Bobby Reed can play Bobby Reed can play on the next side and cut in.
Coach, you're not contribute. Me say, me now use 2 right footer. You know try to put up here and say this and say that.
But look here, Liam Bailey a right footer, a left footer, and him play
Liam Bailey is a left footer.
So why Bobby Reed and a right winger are a right footer and same thing with something there and cut in? What is the
But
problem?
Liam Bailey can't use your right foot.
So when play upon the right wing.
And he can cut in.
So that means say Bobby Reed can go up on one side and cut in on the left.
Coach, you're
And
not going
see first on the right. But Balaka,
you're not
help you. Balaka, hold on.
No, you're not help
So
me.
like me a short.
You're
Balaka,
not,
I'm helping
you're
you, my
not
friend.
help me, coach.
Balaka,
No, I'm a
I
general.
try put
Me
C
they
at the
tell you-
starting lineup. And yeah,
And me they say-
against it. Eh?
And me, they say me now use 2 right footer in night.
But
I'm
me a
not
help
going to
you.
use 2
Me
right
a
footer
help
in
you so
night.
we can cut in. But if me have an informed player, why me can't figure put on bench? Eh?
You can come off a bench and do damage too. A lot of times, Shaman,
So why you
from farm and off
bad
a
feel?
bench he come from.
Why you bad for him and say him a the hottest thing nobody know hotter than him but
Coach,
Bobby Reed. And
Me
you
say,
not
him
start
and when I ask you, notice me put Bobby Reed over him, coach.
right, so why not
And it
start him
proves
and
and
Bobby
start-
Reed and the wingers that are not
Me
hotter
not-
than him be on the bench?
Me now started 2 of them. You just make one comparison and me tell you, say, me go use the 75%. He can come off a bench too. But me
Balaka.
just advocate for the youth in the squad.
I mean no problem, but me advocate for him start now and you say me not to do it. And me don't know where you dependent.
No, that are your opinion. I put him in a year starting a level. Me not put him in
So
because
you
me not
have
use
most
2 right
informed
footer.
winger, you go call him for what?
One off the most informed. Say the word, the man.
And yes, but Balaka, one of the most informed winger, you have one person over him, which is Bobby Reed, and you start Bobby Reed. So why not start him?
No. Me say me start the 75% and him can come on in the 15 minutes, come finish off the game.
Whoa,
Nah, twist up me coach. Just stick to man.
me a twist you up, brother.
Me say you nah go grow on
Nah,
the
me no comparison,
Me nah
Me nah
start
make
the
no
2 right foot of them. You understand? And the reason why me use Bailey, cause I never Bailey more I use, you know. Me want to use a different winger, you know. But the reason why me use Bailey because me no want nobody run with no narrative and say see it there. Balaka said
But
this
Balaka,
and Balaka no mean that.
you're weak then Balaka. You're guinea pig.
No,
You're weak, man.
no,
Like,
man.
you are gonna say
I'm a
your
weak,
thing.
weak. Well, I know.
You're gonna say
I'm a
your
weak,
thing and then you are come with
No.
the narrative this are gonna spread. You know say you say
Well, I know, coach.
Balaka.
No,
A
coach.
football.
Hold on, no, man.
No. Oh, you love talk about Holland, so man. If you want Holland going at JUTC bus, man, and at them bus to them Holland, Virgin. When Wolpa people turn up.
Of course.
What me I say? What me I say?
Me no want
If
disrespect
you
people for
say
the program.
Balakar, opinions are opinions.
Yes,
See?
coach.
So
But
if
when
you
them
have
leave,
an
when
opinion
you
on how you'd want your team, you should care zero what the narrative is going to be. You're afraid of people then.
well, I know, coach. All right. Here we go on. Me and you, they on the show, and couple of fans them in the comment section might know where we they talk. But you see, when we just say no, some people where they on the show where have certain talk on the show where they overseas. When they start run with the narrative, you know, and put it to some other people, you know, they have Balakar as the bad person, you know. You see every show me come on pan. Hold on, man. Every show me come on pan. Nobody now go want to take me call. Because I must be going to come to mash up the show. No, me say nobody now go want to take me call. Alright, but then.
So hold on, different argument today.
But then when the World Cup they go on, I'm a foul for the show. The narrative run Ghana one different place. Bola kind of like you speak to them. And then beat me go and beat me come.
So that no,
and come for the show them.
Watch.
And that's why me I tell you say me no want to go back in a hit because it
Bola
can't know that name.
defense, man.
And this way we sure about that.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I am management.
If you can pick a team or select a team.
And you are management now and with the more Reggae Boyz game because people them say that. And me have to tell them say you no follow people. But coach,
me do?
how would we go?
What you say me do?
Coach. Like seriously, coach.
Eh.
Amen. So let it be. There is a God. Coach, the police are look for you for torture, coach. Seriously. You can't torture the fan them, so coach. You know, there's some message I tell you, I don't
But
want to call in and cut off, but coach,
everybody have their opinion, Cataract.
no, but it's past opinion, coach.
When Robert call, when other people call, when Blair Badness call, every man get end time, sir.
Yeah, but this past
Suppose we can
opinion,
educate the man. Remember, I said the man have him opinion, and suppose we can have a reason and educate him. You understand? Nothing wrong, nothing wrong,
been
man.
trying, coach, and I know that.
Cataract, enough time you talk foolishness, to you know.
Yes, but sometimes
Yeah.
it sense. But sometimes you see, I'm over and laugh at that house. Then sometimes it talk sense. So, but
Cataract, enough time you talk foolishness, man. So nobody go on like say.
sense.
By the way, Cataract,
Yeah,
a Union Joe grind.
I don't know Rasta.
But we see a Euro picture, then we see a float with Joe grind, you know. And what go on?
Well, coach, I can neither confirm nor deny. So,
Yeah.
so if a man I get answer that milk, you can't really to hold me to it. But coach, you freeze up. How this father?
No, but a Euro picture, why a next man have Euro picture use?
Don't know, brother.
Eh?
Maybe you know. Maybe they are.
You have to go investigate that, man.
You
have to go investigate that,
maybe him catch me and slip out the house for CCTV and put up the picture.
No, maybe, Cataract. No man not supposed to use your picture all along, so much days. Every time man come out, we say a Cataract this. Big up Cataract for your super chat. Then me I wonder how Cataract in Jamaica and send super chat. Something not right, Cataract. You need to find out Joe Grind and tell him to take your picture down. Cause yesterday me see him with the next picture, today me see him with the next picture. You understand? So him have whole pack Cataract pictures.
Everybody wants to be a public figure. Just come at that, take a picture. So, hey, Lord, why be here about the copycat killer? But seriously, coach, we don't want to go after that, man. Because of football reasons and the first night of the triple
so, listen to me. You know, say if it hat was on somebody else's head a problem, I saw you go on, you know. I saw you go on, you know.
Coach, may I forget the ultras them removed to it. Like all the ultras they did have to move to a man.
Cataract, you need to sort out that something they do. That don't look right. No man not supposed to have my picture upon there. I use their name and my picture. No, sir.
Yeah, but you need to talk to your man.
Huh?
You have to talk to your brother, the hombre, the pilgrim. You have to talk to the pilgrim.
But we don't know if it's a pilgrim.
But I could be a lady, coach.
We don't know.
And she just an admirer of Cataract.
We don't know. Why a woman would have named herself Joe Grind?
Because maybe I'm the Joe. Let's grind it. Okay. Let's keep it shiny.
Tell us, you always talk foolishness to you, man. Anyways, run along.
No, first of all, I'm not even address. We just did call it to see it. We didn't really want to call it straight and cut off Balakar as is the usual practice. But we don't either too like that. But coach, you can't torture people, you know, coach.
Balakar, why you can't torture me? I torture you right now for that name there and the person I use your photo, multiple photos at that. And you talk about your public figure.
Yeah, so a man can do well, me can't stop a man, brother. Maybe he's a failed selector who just look at boss. I don't know. But coach, you say you want to look at the side and the team, and so clearly Balakar doesn't understand. Bobby Reid has played equally on the left wing and the right wing and at right back for Fulham this year. He has started almost every single game. 90% of the game, Bobby Reid started. 9 out of 10 games. Right? And so, I don't know if he knows more than the Fulham coach, who is up for coach of the year. that where he want to put man and he want to put player. It don't work like coach.
And the Brighton coach are the coach of the year, man.
No man, the Fulham coach, man, look Pantica, Fulham, they way up this in a European position and they were expected to be relegated instantly. So there's a toss up for who the coach are here, Brighton, Fulham.
I mean, I say Brighton in a runnings to man. Yeah, go like say something wrong.
Yes. No, coach, nothing wrong. Brentford coach, Brighton coach, Fulham coach, because those teams are punching way above their weight, right? So, a man just go back, bro. So, coach, you're asking, I think, who would be the 11, and I'm saying to you do not have to take 4 wingers if you have players who can play on either wing.
I mentioned that in the conversation with Balakar.
Yeah, but
remember saying in not take heed, to you telling
No, in not taking heed, and Bellevue, you need to investigate how this phone call come out of my house, Bridget. In week out.
So where your one come from, Cataract?
Coach.
Mind out a Joe house,
No problem if you have your Wi-Fi code, brother.
Balakar, where you calling back for? You know, so we shouldn't entertain a caller.
Hold on, man. Hold on, coach. Hey, look a fool. When they talk about Bellevue and
good. After 8 o'clock, mad people time is done. So, coach, you most coaches look for utility players, which is why you see Gareth Southgate always have a lot of faith in Kieran Trippier and Eric Dyer. Like, who can play centre back and CDM. Kieran Trippier can play on either side of the left back or right back. Because
Balakar, hold on the Cataract. Balakar.
No, man, coach.
Balakar.
Interrupt the man.
Hold on the Cataract. You have to make things clear sometime, Balakar, what the man has said Bellevue and them thing there, a banter in a Balakar. Where you gonna take this up? You see me ask him where my call from. Seriously, Balakar? Oh God, man. I think we come on the show if you have a nice time, talk some football, and educate each other about football. We don't come for war, man.
Where I miss coach, because I can't see comment, but maybe it's good that I can't see the comment.
No, man, I don't know what I comment, man.
Okay.
Alright, continue there, yeah, sir.
So we have to look at when we have utility players that frees up a place in a squad for you to bring another player in and bolster a position that you might have a deficit in. So you might be able to bring in an extra striker, or you might be able to bring in an extra central defender or an extra cam if you are able to have players who are utility. So Bobby Reid is a utility player. And maybe, and I'm looked at how many times he has played right back. He is listed as being playing right back for Fulham. And Fulham doesn't really concede a lot of goals in the Premier League. And I'm wondering if whether we might be missing out on something while we are looking for a specialist right back. If Bobby at right back may not be an answer. I don't know if it will translate into the CONCACAF. What do you think, Coach?
You mean put Bobby at right back?
Yes.
Of course, that's something we can experiment with. But with the call up of Dexter, I mean, would we want to make that?
Dexter's originally a left back, so he's a player that can play on either way. And I don't see the left back. Remember, we were having a heartache. I think it was on Manning's match about just who should be the left back now that Amari Bell has picked up an injury. And it would appear that there are conflicting reports as to whether Greg Lee would be available, because his club website, his club news, is saying that their match has been postponed.
So well on the Qatar, me talked about that earlier, And I same thing when Mount Pleasant, me did I make the mention, I same thing when Mount Pleasant had players up called up for the national team and the ruling of the Premier League said it can't happen. And people take on Mount Pleasant.
No, coach. You were correct. I couldn't call in on that days, unfortunately. If you have 3 or more first team players called up to international duty during an international window, because remember, League 2 and League 1 still keeps playing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It is the top tier league, the championship and the premiership that stops, because 99% of the players who represent internationally are in the top tier. They're just very few in the lower tiers. So the same happened, if you remember, when I'll say his name again, when Grant was at Swindon, they had a lot of their games postponed because they had 2 players called up for Wales. The goalkeeper was called up for Ghana, and Grant was called up for Jamaica. So they always would get their games postponed in League 2. Right? And so now Ipswich Town is saying the same thing. They have 2 players for Wales and now Greg Lee for Jamaica. And the advantage of that is that especially when you're not having a good momentum, you can have your game postponed and, break the other team's momentum. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a strategic thing. But I look forward to see who is in the squad and who is not. But if I could be so bold as to say who I would say as a starting 11.
But Keter, before you get into that, what about your shelving? What's his name? Our Vancouver player there.
No, I'm not. Javane
But
Brown.
because you mentioned using Bobby Reid at that position.
No, but Javane Brown, based on his performance against Argentina, which was one of his better games, would be a selection.
Right, and at that, me did I say cataract to Balakar. If you have somebody where play well in a last international friendly, and them got them club and them not play so well, but them still at the below par. If you'd have dropped them for a newbie, me not believe in that.
No, but coach, what you should ask Balakar is, I recall vividly, Balakar when on Ward 21 was saying that Tapper must go because he keeps chopping and changing the side and bringing player and we can't get no steady side and no core. Remember that, coach?
Mm-hmm.
So how all of a sudden now he's advocating for players to just get dropped because they have a little bad patch with their club? Because a bad patch with your club doesn't translate necessarily into a poor performance for your international team. Now, if you play bad for Jamaica for 3-4 games, then Tana your yard. But if and coaches look at England again, and that's my reference point. Look at Harry Maguire. The coach of the same business what Harry Maguire do. So Manu, he is not Manu coach is not the national team coach. He is picking Harry Maguire in his central defense and most likely going to start the player. Same with John Stones. John Stones doesn't always start for Manchester City. But even when he was going through his torrid time at Manchester City, he was in the England squad. Raheem Sterling, well, he dropped Raheem Sterling now, but Jack Grealish, when Jack Grealish was into fire for Manchester City, he kept him in the squad because, coach, what some people don't want to do is they don't want to break the confidence of the player, by dropping him from the national squad and him not do nothing. And maybe, that's my view. So I don't know if I'm wrong, but let me try to see if I can open my laptop and check the comment section if me attack foolishness. So I don't think that we just go wrong and drop players like that. I think we have all been calling for a squad to come together, and it must be based. Yes, if you have a player in form, if you have a player scoring, and generally, coach, it's strikers who come in on hot form or attacking players. right? Those are generally the players you bring in. So if you have a striker, England has brought in Ivan Toney now. And the reason that Gareth Southgate explained is that since Callum Wilson has come back from the World Cup, he hasn't scored a goal in 2023 for Newcastle. And as a matter of fact, he was on the bench for Newcastle today in their 2-1 victory. And so he justified that, listen, a man can't score 13 goals basically since the World Cup, and I ignore him for whatever reason. Although, he wasn't speaking the truth, he just need to say that Jamaica has been bubbling up and making overtures, and I intend to cap the player and to hell with Jamaica, right? That's how I see it. We don't want the squad to be chop and change for competitive games. We understand for friendly matches, the coach need to look at some players and give each player 2 to 3 or 4 games to prove themselves. There you go. Coach, you seem busy. Okay. So my this is now just based on what's happening around the league, and I'm not the coach. I'm gonna tell the coach players. My starting 11 would be Connor Boyce-Clark in goal, Ethan Pinnock left centre back, Dexter Lembekisi left back, Damian Lowe right right centre back, and Javane Brown as right back. I would have the 3 in the middle. There's a player that I know is coming, so forgive me, I cannot go and mention his name at CDM. And I don't think Rafael's performance would place him in there, right? But I would play, but again, I'm not the coach, but I would play Omari Hutchinson as number 10 and play Bobby Reid on the right wing and Leon Bailey on the left wing, right? With Shamar Nicholson starting up front. I think that's the best that we have. Or Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe on the right wing, Leon Bailey on the left, and Bobby Reid at the number 10. And Omari Hutchinson would be on the bench. That might probably be even more realistic. And Shamar up front because he's the most senior striker that we have, with Mikhail Antonio being out and fixer.
So run the team again.
Connor Boyce-Clark in goal. Dexter Lembekisi left back. Ethan Pinnock left centre back. Damian Lowe right centre back. Javane Brown right back. CDM, okay, respectfully not going to say his name, but there is, I suspect, going to be a CDM coming in. And then Bobby Reid at number 10. Daniel Johnson, box to box. Jamal Lowe, right wing. Leon Bailey, left wing. And Shamar Nicholson up front. Over South.
No sound bad. So you that drop Lay, or things aren't conclusive where he's concerned?
No, the issue with Lay that I have is that Lay has been injured and has come back from injury. And he hasn't played for the coach. Right? So if he's been picked on reputation, if you remember, he wasn't available for the Argentina game selection. Right? So the coach, he would have had no experience with the coach. And I don't think the coach would bring and start a player who he has never seen before. Never work with him, exchange a word in English or Icelandic. If a player like that comes in, I think he would be on the bench. unless he comes in and super impresses in the two training sessions that they have. But the other players that I think are important that we would have, and based on what is coming out of here, I think the players who would have pushed for themselves and given themselves a real opportunity. I believe that Dujon Richards should be in the 23-man squad for Mexico, based over the 2 games, because I think his performance merited it, even though he didn't provide the end product. And I would put that down to youthful exuberance, right?
Hold on, a comment in the comment section.
Sure.
Wait is going to start over Boyce Clark for the very same reason that you're making mention of Greg Lee.
You know, it could be, or it could be Kemar Foster. So I'm not too sure about that. Let me. Good point. Good point. Very, very good point. Very, very, very good point. Very, very good point.
But Duclan, he said Hutchinson already yet. But I mean, Duclan, everybody said that he wasn't good at, he was not playing as the Hutchinson that played in the first game.
Right. He had a good first game.
So he never have a good second game. So yeah, but you couldn't use that to say write him off.
I think that wouldn't make any sense, Doctor. That wouldn't make any sense to seek the right off a man, just like.
It's not a bad 11 still, but at the same time, your arguments based on the
No, so only Boyce Clark really would have
mm-hmm.
broken the mold. And as I said, I acknowledge that. So I don't think Kemar Foster did himself any harm in terms of the performance. And neither really did Jamali Wait, because, he didn't concede a goal. So pretty much, I think the coach has a comfortable 3 goalkeepers as alternatives to Andre Blake.
Mm-hmm.
That he seems to be comfortable with, right? So comfortable that he selected Akeem Bernard
what?
As the 3rd string goalkeeper.
Say that again.
When he had an issue with Jamali Wait, he selected Akeem Bernard from Phoenix Academy and Mona High School to be the 3rd string goalkeeper.
Who select him?
Coach Albrimson.
You sure?
So, who has selected the squad? A coach has selected the squad.
Anyways, the wonder of politics still, but I hear you continue.
I don't know the politics, and I'm taking the coach at his word that he is a man of his word. But I didn't have any problem with bringing a young goalkeeper around the thing. I really didn't have a problem with that. I didn't think he was in the under 20. I thought he got dealt a raw deal when he was sent home by Coach Fuzzy in the early stages under some accusations that were never really proven. Right? So I didn't have a problem with him being brought around the squad. He didn't make the field or make the team, but he would have gotten a sense of training with the big boys. And that must augur well for the next under 23 and those things. So no problem at all. And I don't believe that people are picking the team for the coach. And if they are, I would come down heavy on it, because we have been running away from that. If I comment apply, Lord of bless, we don't know question.
We you know,
Leon
we you
Price.
know, we you know, take that out tight. That nah nothing to do with it.
What? That he's thinking?
Huh?
He said,
So
well, I
which
don't know.
goalkeeper you attack, Cataract?
Pardon me?
Which goalkeeper, which central defender you attack? You're talking Casanova?
Central defender?
Central defensive midfielder.
No, I said to you with due respect.
Huh?
Due respect. People have to wait on the coach some.
No, we are wait upon it, but may I say who you attack, Casanova or Splat?
If me thought, then I would have named the squad.
No, one position may I ask about.
CDM, and I'm saying at this point, I am not willing to reveal what I stumbled across. No, fresh God, it's not Anthony Grant.
Speak according to Richard.
It's not Anthony Grant.
Send it in a private chat. Let me see if I see him near
That
Messi.
would be a violation of course. But I think that Jamaica really now has gone down to super clutching at straws to find a CDM. But if that's the straw, then we have to clutch. And it's touch and go. It is really a touch and go where the player is concerned. No, the CDM is okay. I have my question marks about him, but see.
So a secret Cataract.
No, but just stumble across it and out of respect, if you say something to me, coach, you know something now come brawling and tell somebody.
No, me not say if you come brawling Cataract.
Maybe I next thing. But what we need to do, because weren't we assured? And where's Manning's man? Where is Manning's man? Manning's, you assured us that the squad would have been named by today. This is the end of the week. So come forth and speak. Well, nice. I think the coach is very dejected by the pullouts caused by injury, because I think he would have been expecting to have Mikel Antonio, his talisman, and he would have been expecting to have Amari Bell. Those are not the positions that he would be really thinking he's going to have to scratch his head over. You know what I mean? But such is the nature of football. Such is the nature of football. And I think when you are, I'd love if later on in the program we can talk about the war that Gareth Southgate has declared on Jamaica. You know what I mean? Because
Cataract, more as Rob Smith comment upon his screen and all log may have it up on his screen.
Okay.
We need to forget Ivan Toney. Gareth Southgate even said the talent pool is getting smaller.
But he has made a statement. He said he's going to go into the championship and may start selecting players for the championship. That's a declaration of war. Because that means that the man now leave no stone unturned for you except for go down in a League 1 and League 2. Because if you
but a theme ground Cataract, him not can go on in ground, man.
Yeah, but what I do, coach, listen what I'm saying now. Normally you would say to a championship player, look here, you know England now select nobody out of a championship. Right? That's normally
But he said that because the talent pool is weakening.
That is his overarching line, coach. But right now, he has... Okay, the talent pool is weakening, and you have to drop Trent Alexander-Arnold, you have to drop Raheem Sterling, you couldn't select Ollie Watkinson, you come on. He has enough talent at each position. I think what he was doing was buttering up the press. And once you start giving hope to players in the championship that one day they can don the jersey, oh my God, maybe Lewis Baker was not such a... What were you going to say again about Lewis Baker? delusional. Maybe not. You know what I mean? But I agree with the person that said that Isaac Hayden would be the ideal CDM. Just really, unfortunately, he's becoming just as injury prone as Kevin Stewart, and so we can't build our span that. But there's more than Ivan Tony. What Gareth Southgate has done, coach, is he has created two teams on the 19. And it's actually created an on the 19 team and on the 18, which you don't really have in England before, because you would have on the 17, on the 15, on the 20, right? And so he created this on the 19 team, which only plays friendly matches because there's no tournament for them. And basically, that's his way of getting another 23 players to say, okay, I've worn the England jersey and I have hope for representing England. So places like Scotland and Wales and Jamaica and Ghana and Ivory Coast, we can run in and the players them. There's no under 19 tournament. It's not a FIFA age group. FIFA age group is under 17 and under 20. And UEFA think as an under 15 thing that they do, just like CONCACAF now. Right? So, I don't know. Yeah, no. So there was a key player that we had been courting, a striker who had 13 goals in 11 matches in the Premier League 2. I think 6 assists. And I think the support of them were really on the verge. I think he had gotten everything. And just to get his appointment and get a call up by Sir Garrett, brother. There was also the 16-year-old Ashley Phillips at Blackburn, who was a starter for Blackburn Rovers, and he has gotten a call up. These are how these things go. But I think just in the same way, coach, that we said that the local-based domestic players have to impress with their chance, I think the overseas-based players need to impress in this game, given the opportunity, and get the necessary result in Mexico. Because if you remember, coach, we came very close the last time. We came within 2 minutes of getting a draw, right? But for a moment of, I would say, a moment of madness by Tapo, we would have gotten over the line. So I think anything less than the kind of result and an improved performance, because that was one of our poorer performances, but we used heart and grit and determination to stay in the game, and Mexico didn't have their shooting boots any at all. So, what's your thought, coach? You think if the senior professionals let us down this game, what would be your thought?
What should we do? Should we drop them? Should we rethink getting them? I don't think so. If I don't want it to reach that point, Qatar, where we are going to say if the international players do this. So it in that sense, we're still separating the team when it is one team, one Jamaica.
No, I'm not saying.
So whatever happens in Mexico, it should be a team effort.
I agree with you. I'm saying if our overseas-born professionals, overseas-based professionals, who are also there are many Jamaicans who are overseas-based. Your Javane Browns, Damian Lowe.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Don't cast the blame on the overseas-based international players. It is just the Jamaica team that failed.
But this squad would be made up of largely overseas-based.
But
professionals.
Cataract. Just get the point of me I meant now. If you are saying if the team were to fail, if we're gonna cast the blame on those players, and I'm saying no. Let us say it is Jamaica rather than individualize it and say this player this and this player that.
Okay.
You understand?
So, I should say, if a Jamaican team comprising of its overseas professionals, barring, I think, 2, 3, but unfortunately it's 3 critical positions. It's the goalkeeper, the striker, and left back. So the source of goals and the source of stopping goals, those are 2 very serious places to have injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like you're missing a midfield or a winger, you know.
So we are talking Amari Bell. For the persons who don't know, we are talking Amari Bell at left back. Skipper Capo. Andre Blake, number 1. And we are talking Mikel Antonio up front.
And I mean, it signifies to me, coach, the need for depth in the squad, because Mikel Antonio was just an innocuous kick he got on his calf.
Mm-hmm.
In a game in which, you know what I mean, he scored 2 goals. So, I don't know. Sometimes I think we saw it. The same thing is a game that Luton was winning and Amari Bell, I don't know. I didn't even see the injury. I only see that it come off, because you know that he's a player that plays 90 minutes. He's never really substituted. He's like Bobby Reid. Those players don't get substituted for their club. They play the 90 minutes, eat and pin up. The same. But
Bobby Reid does get substituted. Good night, Cataract. Good night, CD.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Richard.
Big up yourself. Cataract, I was just saying that Bobby Reid for Fulham does get substituted. I just wanted to clarify that, and just in case there was any mistaken belief that he is a 90 minutes every game. He does get substituted, but he is in very good form for Fulham. No doubt about that. Go ahead, sir.
I will attain the facts to back up my thing. But coach, I wanted to throw a cat amongst the pigeon, right? And ask, with Jamal Lowe playing as a number 9 for Queen's Park Rangers, right, as their central striker, would you see him challenging Shamar?
Who? Jamal Lowe?
Jamal Lowe, yes. Since he has gone on loan to Queen's Park Rangers, he has been playing as a number 9. Right? He has been playing as a number 9.
If he's gonna challenge Bowser?
Could he?
No. I'm not here, Cataract again. What do you think, Richard? Because I don't agree.
Well, CD, I'm glad I heard you saying something a little earlier, and I'm going to, if I may, with permission.
No, answer a question first, no?
All right. The question, can Jamal Lowe, is he capable of challenging Shamar for a starting position as the striker? Potentially. Potentially. They're different strikers. I think Jamal is more mobile. Shamar is more used to playing the lone striker role. He's been in pretty good form. And ultimately, I'm in the camp where I'm still looking to trust the process. Unless there's unity and everybody's singing, hopefully from the same script that Coach Hamir is looking to demonstrate, then it won't be the best Reggae Boyz that we can see. He does have some challenges, in my opinion. But again, he's an experienced coach, and we need to trust the process and see exactly where he's going and stand beside him and hope that everything comes together in terms of unity and good team spirit. Very vital. And as the 12th man, we need to be there. But it's good to have at least these selectorial decisions and choices. Cataract made mention of having strength in depth. That is obviously going to be a good thing for Jamaica. No Mikel Antonio on this occasion, but if you've got Jamal Lowe to even bring into the conversation alongside Shamar, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could I quote?
Yeah, man, go ahead. Go
Duncan?
ahead.
Thank you, my brother. And I tell you what, I've been going into the archives, and this could be something that Cataract can identify with, and maybe the viewers and subscribers out there can as well. Remember Al Miller, Reverend Al Miller?
Yes.
All right, sir. But let me just give you a little scripture, sir, because I've been reflecting on these back-to-back Trinidad and Tobago games and the fallout therein. 1 Peter 5, good people. 1 Peter 5. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, so that he may exalt you in due time. That's you. The Spirit is moving. Casting all your cares, viewers and subscribers.
Because he cared.
Yeah. And then I'm going to give you the 2 next words now. Be
vigilant.
It's you. Are you that CD? See that? There's the scripture, sir. And
could I answer your question now?
Hold on, Cataract. Stop making him finish.
Thank you, CD. With Jamaica in mind, with the diaspora, Cataract just mentioned the potential cloak and dagger CDM. You, CD, mentioned the old domestic, local, overseas business. I was struck when I heard the interviews with the Tyler Roberts and the Amari Hutchinsons with their lingua, they're talking, and a patois de matter, but they're Jamaican. And it got me thinking, is there unity in the camp? And is there unity where the fans are concerned? And I remembered what Cataract bemoaned. I heard Cataract when I
so
came
like
on the
you listen show same time, you know. Turn on his something now.
Hold on, me hear something.
We have a echo chamber.
Let me rewind and come again. Because I'm not. Let me rewind and come again.
Alright, England. Yeah, check. No, I will come mash up his stream on Richard with him echo chamber.
What?
Cataract, yeah.
Right. So I see resident comic strike. Bobby Reid, the facts are Bobby Reid has started 93% of the matches for Fulham over this season. Started 93% of the games for Fulham. And he has played 85% of minutes for Fulham. So he has been a starter 93% of the matches. That means more than 9 out of 10 matches he starts. And he plays 85% of the minutes. That means that he would play up to about the 80th minute in most games. So there'd be about 7% of games, which is less than 1 in every 10 games where he's not the starter. Right? So those are the facts. So if somebody take it as literal to mean 100% of the time, then fine. It's not 100% of the time, but it's over 90%, which is, you're talking.
I want to the internet, man.
I'm hearing you clear.
Yeah, we just start hearing about. No, but we are echo again.
I'm not hearing the echo, so if other people are hearing the echo, let me know.
Are you hearing the echo in the comment section, people? Check.
Check.
Alright, it cleaner now.
Right. I'm saying that Bobby Reid has started 93% of the games for this entire season, which means it's a decimal point in terms of him being 100%, right? And he's played 85% of the minutes in each game. So I think he stays on the park for 85% of the minutes. So that's the literal facts, since we want to speak on the original facts.
Can you hear me now, Cataract CD? Can you hear me clearer now?
Right.
Mhm.
So what I was saying to you is that Bobby Reid, the facts now, Bobby Reid started 93% of games for Fulham for the 2022-2023 season, which is more than 9 out of 10 games, right? And he has played 85% of the minutes in each game that he has been there. And so, forgive me for being a decimal points, 0.7 out.
I forgive you. No problem. No problem. He's
But
not a
there's
Martin Odegaard. No problem. No problem.
Which would make him a more consistent starter outside of injury. Because when we look, for example, at Leon Bailey, let me just get those
His
facts
figures
up.
won't. His figures won't be as high, in my opinion. I don't expect it to be
Right.
as high. Bobby
So
Reid's been in very, very good form for Fulham this season. Cataract, while you're getting those figures up, I want to ask you a question.
Leon Bailey starts 77% of the time, which is right,
Yeah, man. Not as high as Bobby Reid. No problem. Yeah, man.
and plays 67% of the minutes
Mm-hmm.
for Aston Villa, which is significantly lower than Bobby Reid, right? And the thing about Bobby Reid also is that Bobby Reid is a very resilient player, even though he's small in stature. He doesn't get injured that often, so he's not really out injured a lot. That's my take.
Cataract, can I ask you a question based on the scripture reading that I gave moments ago? I want to ask you, because you were the gentleman, you, Cataract, who opened a show that I was listening to.
We'll go back to that.
No, because we're bringing it forward and I just want to get a flavor. I am keen for the Jamaican national team to be one of unity, strength, power and passion.
Richard, sorry.
What?
No, me not
Yes.
think we are gonna go down that road about the unity thing, you know. It's a new set of thing go on, you know, brother.
And this is my question, if you allow me. If you allow me.
Is it on the unity?
Well, I'm hoping that this team under Coach Heimar will be united. So I believe it's very relevant. My question is, do you feel that religion has any part to play? A prayer breakfast was mentioned by Cataract. He knew more about it than me. How important, Cataract, do you feel that having a religious side or element to this coaching regime will play, or should play, or could play? Cataract, over to you, sir.
I believe that a serious missing element. Jamaica is a very paradoxical country, but we are very God-fearing people. Cause even the gunman them carry them Bible and read them Psalms. I don't know if they think God are gonna bless the slap way and the flung down ground where them are gonna do. But as misguided as they are, them still say them prayers and then go do them works. I believe what's missing from a national team game, and I was hoping to see it in a national stadium, is the routine of having a prayer before a game. That the whole stadium would say, and the stadium says, Amen. That was a routine. Just like I would want us to have the entertainments and the entertainment sector, the DJs and singers and players of instruments, to be part of a pre-game and a halftime show that builds up the crowd to a crescendo. But I think it's important. I think this is just my view. I think if I had anything and any way of speaking to the coach before, I thought that bringing the team together on home soil, the coach might have best been served taking the players to a Seventh-day Adventist church on Saturday morning prior to the Trinidad game, invoking the blessings of the Lord on this long-term project. That's just what we do. And if you remember, in '98, coach, in the last part again, the game against Mexico, there were several different person, I think a Rastafarian or the Ethiopian Orthodox person was in the stadium as well, along with you know, the regular pastor who was there. So I think that would help to sell, because the church is an important institution in Jamaica. They are the best people at getting the public together. So marketing through the church would be a strategic thing to me. That's my view.
Respect, Cataract. Respect for your openness, candidness, and honesty. It is a point of view. I remember hearing you say it as the World Cup campaign frittered away. And I just wondered if going forward we could have something that was missing. We don't want to repeat the same thing and achieve the same results. You know, that's the definition of madness. Now, one of the things that I picked up on from the bearing in mind we've not had the definitive drop for the team for taking on Mexico in the Nations League, I was struck, Cataract, CD, viewers and subscribers, by the chasm potentially between our quote-unquote A-listers and those who represent the JPL. The decision-making, the quality on show from, I'm not going to name certain names. We know who was in the first and second games versus Trinidad and Tobago. I was struck by the lack of quality. I was determined and made the decision that the JPL really not ready. Schoolboy football really not ready and fit for purpose where Jamaican football senior level is concerned. Dujon Whisper is an outstanding talent in Jamaican terms, and he has a terrific future ahead of him. But I saw some performances, some usual suspects and some newbies who simply weren't cutting the mustard. And I wondered if you saw it as clearly as I did. And saying this to say that, there's a bag of hype around Jamaican football. As CD, CD, do you remember this term? England no good.
England no good. CD? I'm still going to say it. England no
good. You want to go there?
England no good, brother. You can't change my mind with that, you know. England no good.
Ivan Toney has taken up the selection for a team that no good. And I'm putting it to you that Jamaica might no good.
Huh?
I beg your pardon?
Say that again?
I beg your pardon. Go ahead, sir. You said what? Him not have no choice?
Yeah, him not have no choice.
How do you mean?
That's why him choose England. Him never have no choice.
Which team is better, England or Jamaica?
Him never want to play for Jamaica, so him never have no choice.
I ask you a question. I'm asking you a question. I hear what you're saying. I don't know the ins and outs of that. I'm asking you a question. Which team is better, England or Jamaica, in your opinion?
That is a given. That's a rhetorical question.
In your opinion. And that's why
I cease to answer that question.
You've answered the question because we know what rhetorical is and you know it. So I'm saying Jamaica no good. But there is room for improvement, and this is why we need to be humble at this juncture. We need to be humble and trust the process.
So who never humble? Who no humble, Richard?
Well, CD, I remember joining this platform and you was claiming that Jamaica had every right to be winning and at least making the final of the Gold Cup the last time it was held. When
me said that, Richard?
I asked you the question when I said
me said that if Jamaica have every right, Richard, to win the Gold Cup. Richard, hold on. You talking on my time to speak now. So me I go speak. Listen to me.
When good.
when the preparation was going on for the Gold Cup, I said we should use the Gold Cup for the preparation for our World Cup qualifier. I never said if we go win no Gold Cup. Don't be disingenuous when it comes on to me. A elephant I talk to. Elephant brain me a brother. Don't bring that to me.
So,
You finish? You finish?
coach.
I didn't say about win, you know. Carter, you can come in.
You said wait, but not that him just say.
No, you never,
I said that you want. You said that there should be at least going deep into this competition. When
I didn't say that either. I didn't say that either.
So you didn't feel so they had every right to be.
I
better than
said
the Canadian
Jamaica
and
should
American with
pay
them C
more
team
at.
and the Mexican team with them C minus D
Hold on. Let me mute him there, cause he want to talk over me. I'm in a competition. Hold on, Cataract. I said we should be using the opportunity to use the Gold Cup as the means of getting ready for the World Cup qualifiers. Because we never have no games, we have new players who come in and we want to gel. That's what I said. Don't say what me not say, Richard.
Did you fancy Jamaica? Did you fancy Jamaica to be?
You can't ask the next question. Cataract want chime in. About fancy. Me I go support the team. You think Nancy I talk about your fancy Nancy? Cataract, go ahead.
You have falsely accused coaches, that's Coach Bincy, of statements which could be best attributed to Cataract the oligarch. I said that with the level of talent and the level of professional players available to Jamaica, we have no excuse for not making a deep run to reach at least the finals of the Gold Cup. We did not. And I stand by that. The exit from the Gold Cup and the results were left a lot to be desired. And as a matter of fact, it was a writing on the wall because we were unceremoniously booted from the World Cup qualifications. So please don't attribute Coach this.
Thank you, Cataract.
You're the bearer of false news. But I just want Coach.
So hold on the Cataract. You see because of that fake news, hold a yellow card, Richard. I remember 2 yellow cards equal to a red card. And when you get a red card, you're kicked from the game. So balance your look yourself.
So, Coach, but you're not following the FIFA rules, Coach. There should be an automatic 1-game suspension or a 2-game suspension, depending on the severity.
Yes, man. No, 2 yellow card. If you mean get a straight red, then you know.
So there should be a
2 yellow card. Yeah, man. So don't come here and make statement that is not true.
Cataract has always had something against me, you know. Him always claiming that I'm a Radigan. So I don't know why I come with them quick rules. The Cataract, you should know better than that. You should know better than that. You talk CD out of a position, but I'm gonna reason with him as
you mean talk me out of position? The man say him said. The man say him said. The man say him said, Richard.
He took the smoke, and I'm going to go back to my original point. I think Jamaican football needs a little bit of humility.
Coach, please.
But nobody now hype, Richard. Where you get this hype thing?
Right.
Everybody have the new coach come. People are tempering their expectation. They believe he's a good coach. They are giving the coach time. Oh, hype coming at that, Richard. Mine get a next yellow card, you know.
Watch out.
Mine get a next yellow card.
Watch out.
How is that equate to hype? No, Richard. This is the new structure, and this is what most fans are saying. Give the coach some time. He's a professional coach. He seems to know what he's doing. He has a plan. How is this hype, brother? Brother man. How is this hype? Speak! I'm going to say it again, MPEC. England not good. Given where they are in world football,
Watch out.
then can't match up to the other countries them. So they're not good. Run your thought now, Richard.
MPEC, you've heard this talk before from CD and other men. I've got a gentleman on the panel above me, the oligarch.
No, we Richard a talk about hype. Virgin, your
What?
argument there ever off, you know. You know electricity, brother. Everything off, so. Yeah.
It's fascinating, you know, because there's certain people that I could name who would exactly know where I'm coming from. Do you know that I put in a comment section recently, having heard on a platform, apparently a credible platform, I heard at least one of two gentlemen state that it's a results business and we need the results and we need to rip up and move on and get busy because these results against Trinidad and Tobago, they're not good enough and we need to rip up the 4-4-2, we need to rip up the system and we need to try next thing.
Hold on there. Stick a pin. Listen, the coach answered the question about the 4-4-2. The coach said it is the easiest formation to teach and for players to adapt to when you go into to start coaching new players. After he gets it and to the system, it is now easier for him to start put different pieces in it. So let's stop talk about the coach of 4-4-2, boss.
Yes, and just
Feel it. And Richard, when you come with argument, you have to have every fox. Where's it? Remove him from the game.
Yellow card again, coach.
What VAR say? The comment section of VAR. Hold on. The comment section of VAR. Only talk to me, VAR.
You really going to the comment section on what basis?
No, Richard, sorry. Coach,
are we not reasoning?
He attempted to tackle the coach, 2-footed tackle off the ground, right? That's a yellow card. As a matter of fact, coach, I am saying, I'm protesting like Arteta. This should be a straight red card.
No, Kata, relax the man. The man get a yellow card already. Make we go check VAR. I comment section I VAR. Wanna tell me what go on? Should he get the next card? If we get 20 people say yes.
Oh, coach, VAR have 3. Coach, you have 3 people in the VAR, coach.
I'm my VAR, this is the brother.
Oh, you're VAR for me.
Hold on.
So big.
Hold on. I see you sticking to Richard. We are counting now.
Coach,
Stefan,
so big,
Kevin,
can't be so big.
KS Sport. Who else? South Cry.
Drilly say yes.
Rob Smith.
Demario McCallum say yes.
Kevin say Damario McCallum, yes. Easy
All things work together for good. I'm encouraged that this united front is being.
All right.
I love this.
We're gonna ease him up.
Yeah, man, peace and love to this thing, you know.
We're gonna ease him up. But listen. We're gonna use the baseball rule. 3 strikes and he out.
No, coach,
So in the part 2 you know.
Coach, I don't baseball this.
Hold on, Cataract. We have to exercise. You see, Michael, we have exercise patience with the coach. Let us exercise a little patience.
There's the vice of reason there. There's the diplomacy in you, sir. I salute you, host. I salute you, CD. I concur, CD.
You just unvar. The masculine one. Coach, we have to stick with football, coach. I will respect the rules.
MPEC. My people, my VAR have to take turn for you, MPEC.
I will respect the rule of the VAR, coach. But I am going.
No, but Cataract, me can't count all of that. A whole of people have said no to. So me just, give him a chance.
But you say if 20 say yes, I'm thinking he reach out.
No, but people have said no too. So me can't something there.
How many said no, coach? You said
hit the like. Everybody, whether yes or no, hit the like.
But Cataract, the referee can use his discretion,
You're rush the referee, though.
No, remember saying I have a last chance in the pan now,
You're a good referee, CD. You're a good referee. You use your discretion very wisely. I salute.
A lot of people beg females as well, Rob Smith says. So that's why I'm easy up.
no problem. I will speak about it in like the coaches normally do. When the power decision not go for their way. But coach,
Yeah.
I wanted to say something.
You want to write the FA? Or the coach
Rob.
the CD?
I will.
Thank you, sir.
I will. Coach, I was
And
challenged. Hold on, man, Bertrand. I was challenged with my mathematics by someone who was a principal here who run Reggae in America. First of all, Bobby Reed,
You
due to
cataract, seriously?
accumulation of yellow cards, has so called the person should know math.
Cataract, if people ain't know say you're a mathematician already, no, man, we can't go back into that, man.
No, well, if somebody challenge my math coach,
But you don't need for stoop.
okay, I'm not stoop. I'm not.
Yeah, man.
I'm not bend. Okay, I'll ignore. Moving on.
Yeah, man.
I think that most of the squad coaches named.
No, hold on the cataract. We have to address the point to Richard and making talking about. He uses scripture First Peter. Say,
we
my
not
go like
have
him alone know scripture now. What may I say?
we not
Seeing? Him use that scripture to bring off a point when him could have just say it. So we need to be humble and be vigilant. I don't see where the Jamaican fan base right now is being hyped up about the football. We are more cautiously optimistic. More than what Richard is saying about being hyped up. Come on, Richard. You know, sir, Richard, somewhere along the line, me think you drink something and you're not with us from the other day when it comes to football now. It look like we need to send it down to Buenos which part of place the name again? Down to Brazil, you know.
I thought you were going to say Guantanamo Bay.
Or stay at England, you know, and not contact nothing more about Jamaica football, you know.
Strong words, CD. Strong words. I hope that's not the case.
No, man. Richard, based on your arguments for the past few months, it's so like, you know, with the Jamaica football thing, you know, Richard.
I'm listening, CD.
No, man. All right. Are you with the Jamaica football climate and everything? Yeah, you're with Jamaica's football?
Climate and everything. Let me be crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for asking the question, CD. I appreciate it. Viewers and subscribers, Cataract, I fully respect the question. In a nutshell, yes, read my lips. Yes,
No, me not read the lips. Me can't hear. Me not read the lips. Me I hear.
All right, CD. All right, CD. I am fully supportive and standing beside. You hear that one, Cataract? Beside. You know, I've learned the lingo. Beside the Reggae Boyz, Reggae Girls, under 17s, the Jamaican representative teams. What I want is for the very best for them. I was very aware when I first came onto social media of the challenges and opportunities. MPEC, Rob Smith, you don't know. The reality is that there are challenges and opportunities that face Jamaican football. And it's a balancing act to get it right. Coaches come, coaches go. Players come, players go. I was conscious of the fact that I was excited by, here's the list: Delano, McCoy Splat, Dante Casanova, Omari Hutchinson, Lembakisi. I was optimistic of these players coming into and being looked at by Coach Heimer. I said,
I've never heard it though.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know you not heard it, but I'm telling you, and I'm telling you loud and clear. I was optimistic. Cataract has had his database. He has waxed lyrical about many of these players. So I was optimistic. And of course, the infamous, now infamous Cataract pronunciation of those Trinidadian Soca Warrior games.
You know, that's why we want to go for a mad, you know.
From the 7-0 though. And that's Mr.
That's
Cataract.
why we go for a mad,
The man write 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters. And I really 7 chapter I want to go, you know.
And
this say you want to go for him come on, you know.
And that it was and from
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So at them, hold on, and I know me know Cataract that at this so the hype thing come from with this Tiddlywinks name Richard. Because if he say the fans were hype when a Cataract alone said that, and we on the panel and in the comment section was saying to Cataract, don't go there.
But
Let me go.
But remember, hold on, Richard, me not finish it. Joan Spencer, I mean, leave the man freedom of speech. The man, of course, the man attack and we leave him. But the fact is that he is using Cataract, who is one person, to say the Jamaican fans are hype. And I will not agree to that, Tiddlywinks. You can't remember say we see him when Cataract said that we said no Cataract we not beat Trinidad by enough in our games and when we play and Simon come on and say the last game we lost against Trinidad was in Mobe. So you can't say fans were hyper use Cataract alone. How long do you want to say that? And we reach it. Good. So I shut it down now.
I have a feeling, coach. Again, a yellow card. I have a feeling.
We're saying forget the yellow card now.
Me dive at the ground, coach. Me a roll, coach. Me a hold me, coach.
Oh God.
What?
Hey people, the place nice. The place nice. Hey, a long time Richard want read to say no.
Me a call on the benefit, coach.
So Richard,
Yes,
we shut
Yes,
down Cataract like a computer and tell him to not bother with that. So you have to use that one argument for crowd the whole fan base so we hype. Come on, man.
So, wait a minute. Just a minute. Take it down low. Take it down low. Just a minute, CD.
What?
CD, just a minute. Cataract, just
Well, no, a Cataract for talk now. No take down low, nothing. Balance.
No, I just want to make a one quick point and then Cataract.
No, you're not take no quick point, Richard.
It's gonna be
See him like Cataract, not take quick point.
Balance. Hold on. I hold my opinion. As a matter of fact, there was a uniformity of anti-Cataract opinion on that day.
Of course.
And I held to my position. I even explained my position. I had to break it down.
Mm-hmm.
And even then with the...
We still never agree with him.
They never agreed.
Right.
And I stated that I as an ultra may have walked with this, but the man them were analyze the thing. I even went down to say, boy, I'm going to take a 5 or 6, but I still not take no less than a shellacking of Trinidad.
The man I'll bring up the Man U thing and I bring up Liverpool from 19 something where you say. And them where the man got, you know, because in glad say United get defeated, you know. That's why we did that tell him say, yo, Bill no man.
And I'm saying that it would have augured well for the program, because I'm sure if we had given Trinidad a shellacking in Catching Hall, the stadium would have been more than it was basically empty. With a lot of free tickets given away to a lot of the crowd that you saw, you know, were high school and primary school kids who were given sponsored tickets, right? So I know that they took some nice photograph, but really and truly, less than 25% of the stadium was full. And Jamaicans in general can be fair weather fans. They're guilty of that. And the stadium in Montego Bay was about 70% full, I would say. And the whole thing dropped off because of the result in Mobe. It was a disaster in terms of the marketing. Now, I don't know that you can accuse the Jamaican fans of being hype when we have all said that we are willing to give. I've said it. I'm not calling for no coach head, no assessment of no coach until the end of the year, when I see him implement a good part of his plan, including friendly matches, including competitive games, and we see where our rankings are. But he has to be given the time, space, and latitude. I think all of that is reasoned and balanced.
As TikTok say, usual thing using one or a few person to form a negative and to form a notion that that is the thing, that is the norm. Tiddlywinks, I know so you go.
CD, did you expect, as I expected, based on everything that was being said, that you expected Jamaica to beat the Soca Warriors of Angus Eves?
Everybody expected them to win, not by the margin that Cataract went out, and I went with myself. But I don't think that you can look at the two teams and their rankings and their status. Everybody expected them to win. That's not hype. Some people were saying a 1-0 victory. Most people were saying 2-1. A lot of people were saying 1-0. You recall, Coach? But it was a reverse.
And because we say Trinidad as a defensive team is very solid. That's why we never did that say the barrage of goals that Cataract was alluding
I recall that. So, but what I heard, Coach, didn't sound to me like a mea culpa or an apology to the Reggae Boyz nations, which is what I thought the Reason Boss would have put in a poem form. To say, I'm sorry.
Cataract, I second time this in fire shot, you know.
And
for me, you know.
He gone into the Bible and said, you know, thou shalt not bear false witness. That ain't in your Bible. But you have strayed us off the football, Sir Richard. And Coach, I would have loved to hear what your starting 11 based on now. What
no, me can't. I Cataract, you know how me I gonna do it now, you know. Me can't. I will not name a starting 11 without a squad, you know.
No, okay.
Good man, CD. Good man.
Who do you think would be? Okay, I respect that. But who do you think would be the ins and outs? Any surprise?
With the injured players, it I think it's gonna be tough. A tough ask. For the coach to really get what he wants in terms of players. He might be frustrated now with the injured players, but again, he's a professional, so he has to work with what he has available at the time. And I do believe that if Mikel was there or Andre Blake, the temperature of the training would not be turned up or turned down. I think he's going to go in with the same vim and vigor in terms of preparing the team to face that Mexico, despite the players that he has available at the time. So I don't like the fact that we're not gonna be at full strength. And you made mention earlier, and I alluded to it as well, that these are critical positions: the striking position, the goalkeeping position, and on the left side. You understand?
Yeah, which is with a problem with a lot of attacks come down that left flank and the crosses coming. You'd recall when we lost to the United States in San Antonio. That was where they have found joy. And when we lost to Costa Rica, that short man who was 90-something years old, to the same side. So it's a headache. Would you expect, Coach, what's your view on the recall of, should we recall Kemar Taxi Lawrence out of retirement?
The last time he was invited, he didn't show up. From what I've heard. So that tells me he might not be interested in going forward. So I wouldn't invite him. That's the last information I got where Taxi is concerned, that he was invited and possibly him never respond or whatever.
But that leaves us with a dilemma, then, coach, on that left side. Does leave us with a dilemma. So, and I really hope, coach, that this weekend's matches our players can go through and we don't pick up any other injuries. God forbid. Well, Ethan Pinnock them playing this week. Ethan Pinnock playing this weekend. I think Bobby Reid is off this weekend. As a bye. Yeah.
I mean, injury, as I've always said as well, injuries are a part of the sport. Sad to say. And I go as far and say it is the demon of the sport. Because whether you like it or not, it's going to find somebody. You understand? Some people are blessed to not have it frequently, or probably just niggles that they have to deal with. But something have to be dealt with in sports. When you have a plan, even though you want to be optimistic, you still have to have it in the back of your head that you probably watch the game and I say you just want to see the 90 minutes or whatever extra time, and the players walk off the field briskly and not gingerly, are they? Because trust me.
Probably read up a game. I didn't even realize that, coach. So we have to just hope and pray.
Alright, then kick with cataract foot. So no, Richard. What's your take on?
And the game against Mexico? I'm awaiting for the final squad to be dropped. It doesn't sound like it's been announced as yet. It's going to be it's going to be a tough game as far as I'm concerned. I saw the Mexican team Atlas, who have not appeared in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League. As far as I understand, they took on a Honduras team that had beaten them 4-1 on Honduras territory. 4-1. It was a sound beating, a thorough beating. But they then, back home in Mexico, overturned this 4-1 deficit with a 3-0 victory. And I'm telling you, it was mighty impressive. The fans were there out in numbers as a 12th man. They were rocking. And Honduras is a team and a nation that I've got a lot of respect for in the CONCACAF region in terms of their ability. But they were found out by a Mexican team who had a winning mentality. I'm concerned going forward, but it's something that Coach Jaime and the Jamaican fans will have to deal with, which is Jamaica fostering, developing and learning to have a winning culture. It's going to be hugely challenging. They're up against it against Mexico. It will be a terrific result if they can get something against Mexico. When I say get something, if they can get a draw, that would be a fantastic result. If they can come in with a terrific performance, a good performance, a competitive performance, that would be very good. But I've got Mexico as favourites. Yeah, no doubt about it. But Jamaica's challenge, it's and Jaime's challenge. It's a really difficult proposition. It doesn't help that there's no Mikel Antonio, but I'm looking forward to see what Jamaica does, and I'm just hoping that they have a good preparation camp. I hope that everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet and they can do the best they can. I was disturbed, I must say. And I don't know if you gave, because you were offering very good commentary, by the way. CD, let me compliment yourself and Manning's Man for delivering one, and Military Guna for delivering, Unseen Sport as well, for delivering coverage of those Trinidad and Tobago games back-to-back from Catherine Hall and the National Stadium. Really appreciated it. And the coverage, commentating, very good. I applaud you and salute you. I was a little concerned about the lack of ability to continue. I saw passing, simple passing, but then to continue ball possession seemed to be a problem for Jamaica. I did hear that, okay, the guys weren't used to playing with each other. A midfield player is coming short to receive the ball. Jamal Topi is going long. Richard King going long when a player is coming short. Sometimes they weren't presenting themselves and they went long. I liked when I saw the likes of Amari Hutchinson and Damari holding onto the ball, making the short passes. I'd love to see more possession football from Jamaica. It's not a crime to hold on to the ball, to make simple passes. It's a good thing. It makes the team confident. It makes the opponents have to run a little bit more, and you can prompt and look for the openings and the right time to play a ball down the flank or to play a long ball for a Shamar Nicholson or a Jamal Lowe or any forward to run onto. I'm looking for a little bit more patience in terms of Jamaica's football. But it's not easy. It's not easy. So Coach Jaime has got a big job on his hand. But I, as a 12th man, I'm giving him every opportunity, and the camp, whoever is representing, every opportunity to get the best out of themselves.
Coach, it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a tough game.
Tough ask. But I am encouraged by the fact that each time that we have gone into Mexico, we have really put up a fight in the last few occasions.
Mr. Grant was a part of that as well, if I recall.
Yes. Yes, he was. But I'm talking the past few times. We in the previous World Cup qualifier, Ryan Johnson, I think, was it 1-on-1, and what a difference that they would have made. And I think McCleary or is Joby McAnuff, one of the two of them fluffed the open chance. So I think we've been getting closer and closer to Mexico. I don't think we are as petrified of the Azteca as we once were. But I think COVID would have given us a disservice, because I wish that some of these players like your Bobby Reeds and Daniel Johnson would have experienced that altitude, those playing conditions. So, Coach, you say you want to bamba, and we want to roll with the big boys. So, we don't want to run kitty kata. We want to maybe play tiki taka. But I have to say that for the first, after our Richard has said the first sensible thing that I could agree with today is that his concern regarding our lack of playing possession-based football is a matter of concern, right? Because what was more concerning to me, though, Coach and Richard, is that the long balls were unforced, right? The players were under no pressure. Many of the time, the defenders, when they chose to go long. On the positive side, though, it was not the goalkeepers. And we tried 3 goalkeepers, and I didn't see them kicking away the ball and giving away possession in the same way that our captain has been guilty of in the past. So that's a plus point. But I don't know how we solved it, because the coach seemed exacerbated, because that was clearly not his instructions to the players about the long ball game. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be a difficult assignment, Coach.
It is going to be.
I don't envy the players. I don't envy the team, but we have to go out there and lift up our heads and, hold our heads high, as we say, if Jah is standing by our side. Whoosh, can I be afraid? But Mexico is always a difficult proposition. Mm-hmm. But without the fans, that is certainly an an equalizing factor because the 100,000 Azteca full and rearing and roaring is a frightening prospect. And I wouldn't have given us any chance in front of a full Azteca. But with the empty stadium and lack of atmosphere, I think we have the best chance of coming out of there with a point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or scoring the goal first like we did, and then hanging on for dear life. That's just the reality. Just the reality.
Cataract.
Yeah.
Is it a cloak and dagger, CD? Is it a cloak and dagger thing as to who could be available for the CDM position if it is something that Coach Heimer is interested in pursuing? And can you, in your Jamaican footballing experience, explain why there's a dearth of quality CDMs in Jamaican football at the moment? I know we've talked about the Kevin Stewart, who's, very brittle. I've heard of a Fabian McCarthy in certain circles. I personally did like Anglin's performances. It looked promising. But explain in terms of the JPL and maybe further afield. Cataract, you're always talking about several. I think you mentioned there are several potential CDMs for Jamaica, but they're teenagers. Why the difficulty in producing CDMs where we can have real good competition and be spoilt for choices going forward in that area? Very important position.
So firstly, if you've followed any of these streams, when I raised the issue of
Cataract,
CDM,
this is a closing point here because we're gonna close off the show.
So, okay, no problem at all, Coach. That you will find a few persons pop up in the comment. We don't need a CDM. CDM not important. So that's one, that the Jamaican footballing public is not familiar with this position and doesn't see it as important. Think it's a relic. Secondly, the JPL game where you have so much long balls being played doesn't lend itself to the development of a CDM who is really the person who orchestrates the game. Third, we don't rate and respect players with work rate and reading the game and players whose abilities, is to intercept passes and break up play. We like fair players, Brocky-Boo, Manuel Shift and Salad and Pile. That's who we put respect on the name. And so the best players would want to be in a position where the public respects them. They get the cheering and their community say, oh yeah, big baller. And that's not the position. But Coach, I would say overall, it's not a Jamaica thing only. It's a worldwide. There's a scarcity of number 9 strikers and a scarcity of central defensive midfielders. Even bigger scarcity of CDMs and quality CDMs worldwide. If you look in the Premier League, Coach, if you can tell how many of the teams have English-born CDMs, not many. They tend to go overseas for them. So it's not only a Jamaican problem.
All right, Richard. Richard is gone. Yeah, that is true, Cataract. I agree with you on that. Well, the coach first responder did say that they played too many long balls. So I don't know if that was the instruction they got. But people, good show tonight. Beat and teach Richard. Him run away because him fear the red card and the suspension. So it is what it is. But we hope for the best. Hopefully we'll be joining you tomorrow with the squad, hopefully. You know what I mean? So that we can, dissect it and go through it and see if it is balanced, if it is a team that can put up a fight in the Azteca. So people really appreciate it. Thank you very much for tuning in. Stay safe. And until next time, peace out.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.